adversaries don't respect us anymore. Now, if you watch Joe Biden events, and why would you, you'd know that with every speech, and I mean every single speech, Joe Biden will mangle someone's name.
Brian Chance, our senator, Congress eggs, Auchinclaw sauce. Where is she? There you go, Jake. Natalie Bergone. Natalie, where's Nat? Not Nanette. Where's Nanette? There you are. Sorry, Nanette. I didn't see you back there.
Maybe she was being kidnapped into mental illness hospital or collection center, trying to collect her to vote for Joe Biden.
The contribution of Joan Shigakawa. Thank you. I have trouble pronouncing it. You can call me Biden.
And that last one was Asian American producer Joan Shigakawa. And number 12 on the list is when Joe Biden attempted to pronounce her name a second time.
And Joan Shingang, pronounce it.
I see Joe Biden trying to say Shakasa.
Whoa. I think I pronounced it correctly.
Number 11 occurred back in September 28th, 2022, when Biden spoke at a conference on hunger, nutrition, and health. And as presidents are wont to do, Biden acknowledged members of Congress attending the event.
I want to thank all of you here, for including bipartisan elected officials like Representative Governor, Senator Braun, Senator Booker, Representative Jackie. Are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here to help make this a reality.
Okay, so Jackie would be former Representative Jackie Walorski. And I say former because unfortunately, she died in a car crash back on August 3rd, a whole month and a half before the conference. And you'd think that Joe Biden would know this as he put out a statement regarding her death, saying,
那拜登是明显是解释出来，他完全不在乎他的手下的生命的，因为他的 supporter 死掉了，而且还是 Senate 还是 Congress 的，他居然都不知道。What's wrong with him? He's clearly a very bad politician.
And the White House press corps.
He don't even know his major supporters dead.
She was on his mind. She was of top of mind. She was on top of mind. I mean, I think many people can speak to sometimes when you have someone top of mind, they're a top of mind, exactly that. And she was a top of mind. She was on top of mind. I don't think it's all that unusual. To have someone top of mind, being on top of mind. And she was on top of mind. Again, she was on the top of mind. I feel like many of us have gone through that particular time where someone is on top of mind and you call them out.
So the Biden administration is so inept that the best excuse that they could come up with was Joe Biden was thinking about the congresswoman and he called out to her, even though he knew that she had died.
The confusing part is why, if she and the family is top of mind, does the president think that she's living and in the room?
I don't find that confusing. Okay, go ahead.
Moments of confusion are happening.
Excuse me.
Americans are watching this and are having concerns. What do you say to that? This is a legitimate question. We need to have some answers.
Oof. When you lose the correspondent from Al Jazeera, it's time to pack it in, guys.
I didn't think she was going to be here.
Number 10 on the list is from September 2023, when Joe Biden flew to Vietnam, and his handlers thought it would be a great idea to hold a press conference, despite the fact that Joe Biden was very obviously suffering from jet lag.
Nobody like having celebrated international media. If you don't know what you want, if you don't have a game plan, you may have a game plan. You just haven't shared it with me. But I tell you what, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to bed.
They don't call him Sleepy Joe for nothing.
Don't make
And
us
this press conference was such
like
a
a criminal.
disaster
But if you
that the
act like a
highlight
criminal
was when
and you
Joe Biden
violate the law
started
and you
rambling about
refuse
his
to do
brother.
what is necessary,
And
does
there
he
was
count?
my brother was having the famous
We
lines
will
of
take
movies
you
that he
to
always
jail.
quotes.
Period.
And one of them is the behavior like Don Wayne and they're trying to, I think it's Apache, one of the great tribes of America back
And if
on
we
the
need to,
reservation.
we will
And
arrest
he's
you and
standing
we will
there
take
so he
you
can go
to
on
jail. Don't make us
on the
treat you
horses
like a criminal.
saddles.
But if you act like a criminal and you violate the law and you refuse to do what is necessary,
And
does he count?
come with me, we'll take care of you, everything will be good.
We will take you to jail.
Indian looks at John Wayne and points to the Indian and says, he's a lion dog for his pony soldier.
And this left the president's staff with no choice. Biden's press secretary got on the mic and pulled the plug.
Had access to changes, had access, it wasn't confrontational at all.
Thank you, everybody. This ends the press conference. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
That flag is Vietnamese flag, not Chinese flag. It is Biden might think that is Chinese flag instead of Soviet Union flag because he don't have history knowledge. He didn't graduate from Lincoln High School. That's a Vietnamese flag.
81 million votes.
Only one star.
81 million votes. Number 9 on the list is about a double standard. Back in August 2022, President Donald Trump's home
Because
in Florida
Biden is
was
old,
raided by
he
the FBI
he
to
don't know where
retrieve
he's at.
classified documents
Like
that were
sometimes he
allegedly
been
in Trump's
to
possession
Vietnam
illegally.
and his
And a month
his
later, in
teammate
an interview with
told
60
him
Minutes,
this is China
Biden
and he would think that country is China because he's
You
an
saw
idiot.
a photograph of the top secret documents laid out on the floor at Mar-a-Lago. What did you think to yourself, looking at that image?
How that could possibly happen. How anyone could be that irresponsible.
And yet, just 1.5 months later, Joe Biden's personal attorneys would find classified documents dating back to his vice presidency in a closet at the Penn Biden Center for Diplomacy and Global Engagement, whatever the hell that is. And then a second batch would be found in the garage in Joe Biden's home.
Classified material.
Joe Biden does drive a really nice car.
Let me, look, we're going to get a chance to speak on all this, God willing, soon. But as I said earlier this week, people, and by the way, my Corvette's in the locked garage.
Yeah,
Okay, so it's not like you're
Corvette
sitting on the
is
street.
American-made, like luxury car. At least in America, it's more luxury than BMW.
Biden weaponized
Or
Attorney
Mercedes
General Merrick
Benz.
Garland and the Department of Justice to go after Trump over
And
classified
yeah,
documents.
that car does
when Biden
race very
himself
fast.
improperly stored and mishandled
But
classified documents.
it's really
Of course,
hard
it all backfired.
to
It not
maintain
only
because
added fuel to the
maintenance fee
argument
is
of a
really
two-tier
high.
justice
Costs
system,
about
but
5,000
it's
a month.
also inadvertently made Trump more popular than ever. Womp womp. Number 8 on the list is when Joe Biden's staff thought of the brilliant idea of naming his failing economic policies after a failing resident.
Most Americans.
But it is like after about 100,000 miles. It is like that. Before the maintenance fee is about 2,000.
The middle class, the poor have a shot, and the wealthy still do very well.
Yeah, this is
That's what
American
we call
car building
Bidenomics.
standard.
But everyone knows that
For luxury
Bidenomics
car.
is a joke, especially his most repeated claim that he's the greatest job creator ever.
By the way, so far, we've created 14 million new jobs, more jobs in 3 years than any president's created in 4 years.
But Joe Biden's attempt to gaslight Americans into thinking that he's created 14 million brand new jobs isn't working. Between March and April
Yeah, this
2020,
40 million brand new
22
job
million jobs
called
were
homeless
lost. Between May
burglar
2020
in
and
United
January
States.
2021,
He's not lying.
5 million of
He
those
tell
jobs
truth.
were recovered. What this means
Maybe
is that
number
under
is
Joe
a little bit
Biden, an additional
exaggerated.
9.4 million jobs would need to be created before reaching the break-even point. But for Democrats, math is hard, because the reality is it took 17 months for the Biden administration to hit that break-even point. Everything from July 2022 to November 2023 are new jobs. So for clarity, under Joe Biden, there have been 4.7 million new jobs in his first 2 years and 10 months in office. And don't get me wrong, 4.7 million new jobs isn't bad. But it needs to be pointed out that 6.7 million new jobs were created under President Trump during his first 2 years and 10 months, which is 2 million more new jobs than were created under Joe Biden. So when people say that they felt the economy was better under President Trump, it's because it was. In fact, when Joe Biden entered office, inflation was at 1.4% annually. By June 2021, it had rose to 5.4%. But Joe Biden wasn't worried, which is number 7 on our list.
And by the way, talking inflation, the overwhelming consensus is going to pop up a little bit and then go back down. No one's talking about this great, So again, if it turns out that what I've done so far, what we've done so far, is a mistake, it's going to show. The vast majority of the experts, including Wall Street, are suggesting that it's highly unlikely that it's going to be long-term inflation that's going to get out of hand. We will, in fact, reduce inflation.
But unfortunately, Biden and the experts were way off. By October 2021, inflation had risen to 6.2% annually.
You had told us at a town hall, I think it was in July, that this was just near-term inflation. The Wall Street Journal recently talked to like 67 financial experts who said that they saw high inflation going all the way or deep into 2022. Do you think it's going to last for a while?
I don't think so. I don't think it will last depending what we do. If we stay exactly where we are, yes. If we don't make these investments, yes.
But despite all of these investments, inflation continued deep into 2022 and 2023, rising to a 41-year high of 9.1%. And yet, Joe Biden and his administration are baffled as to why a majority of Americans disapprove of Joe Biden's handling of the economy. Gee, what could it be?
It's no accident. It's Bidenomics in action.
Next, back in October 2021, professional race car driver Brandon Brown won the NASCAR Infinity Series Sparks 300. And during a post-race interview, the crowd was chanting, Joe Biden. But NBC sports reporter Kelly Stavist said that they were saying something else.
Brandon, you also told me, as you can hear the chants from the crowd, let's go, Brandon. Brandon, you told me you were going to cut.
And with that, Let's Go Brandon was born.
Across this country, we've seen this new phenomenon lately, chanted at sporting events and on signs. The phrase is "Let's Go Brandon," a sort of code for a profane slogan attacking President Biden. What does the president make of that?
I don't think he spends much time focused on it or thinking about it.
And that's a shame, because number 6 on the list is when Joe Biden and his wife, Dr. First Lady, were taking phone calls for NORAD's Santa Tracker hotline.
I hope you have a wonderful Christmas.
Yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas as well. Merry Christmas and let's go Brandon.
Let's go Brandon, I agree.
I still can't believe that he said it. What a moron. And what makes this even more special is Dr. Jill Biden's priceless reaction.
Hey, by the way, where are you in Oregon? Where's your home? I think we lost him.
Yeah.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
In his Netflix special called Beautiful Dogs, comedian Shane Gillis made an astute observation.
Anytime Biden finishes a speech, he transforms into a Roomba.
What's Roomba means? Oh, it's walking like a Roomba.
And thanks to the brilliance of Mr. Gillis, and America and the entire world now has a name for Biden's confusion. So in celebration of Mr. Gillis's brilliance,
called sexual asshole being fucked by different race sexual transmitted disease called a black-hearted politician. It is confusion disorder.
Now, the only thing worse than Joe Biden looking confused on stage is Joe Biden tripping and falling on stage. And since Joe Biden took office, he has tripped and or fallen in public 10 times. Here's only some of those examples.
How could America abuse like old man like this? How could they do handicap old man abuse and let still be the Biden for that without give him as 一个拐杖啊？
That's flag. Anyway.
And I'm not even counting the time he fell off his bicycle. And it's gotten so concerning that back in September, Axios reported that Biden's team is making him wear sneakers and forcing him to use the short stairs on Air Force One because they're afraid he's going to trip and fall again. And just hours after the Axios piece was published, Biden tripped on the short stairs. And then 2 weeks later, the resident visited Pennsylvania, where he sporadically half-jogged to the stage, and you'll never guess what happened. Democrats, including some in the administration, are terrified that Biden will have a bad fall, with a nightmare scenario of it happening in the weeks before the November 2024 election. Unfortunately, I think it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Sad, really. Next, at number 3, is easily the biggest foreign policy meltdown in our nation's history. The chaotic withdrawal of the United States troops from Afghanistan, where, thanks to this bumbling idiot, 13 service members lost their lives. And during their dignified transfer...
And those terrorist groups get billions of dollars US-made high-quality weapon.
Joe Biden is more worried
make them way powerful than they used to be.
To the fallen.
In reference to the checking of his watch, that didn't happen just once.
It won't surprise me if some of American idiots lost nuclear technical missile to those terrorism group.
He looked down at his watch on every last one, all 13. He looked down at his watch.
I actually leaned into my son's mother's ear and I said, I swear to God, if he checks his watch one more time, and that was only probably 4 times in, I couldn't look at him anymore after that. Just considering especially the time and why we were there, it was, I found to be the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen.
These 13 service members, who are heroes, by the way, were killed because of Joe Biden's incompetence.
Maybe Biden is hungry. He is impatient, waiting, and he want to go to his luxury dinner or date with a pretty female or a pretty young boy. I don't know.
As our commander-in-chief. On August 8th, 2023, wildfires ripped through the island of Maui, where at least 100 people lost their lives. It was the 5th deadliest wildfire in United States history. And coming in at number 2 is Joe Biden's atrocious response. No, you're riding a bicycle, dumbass. Now, when you consider how catastrophic the fire was, Biden's no-comment response, along with images of Biden riding his bike and lounging on the beach, well, it made him look like he couldn't give a shit. In fact, it took 13 days for Joe Biden to get up off his ass and fly to Maui. But when he did, he made it about himself.
The devastation is overwhelming. To date, 114 dead, hundreds of people unaccounted for. I remember when I got the call, my first wife and daughter, you got to come home. There's been an accident. So what happened?